Hi, Spaghetti Western fans. It's me, Jay Jennings, host of the Once Upon a Time in Spaghetti Westerns podcast, with a very rare museum piece acquirement for my Spaghetti Westerns autograph poster and memorabilia museum, which hopefully will open after this whole nightmare is over. Anyway, thank you very much from the Academy, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Hey Tom, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Jay?
Oh, wait a minute. My audio is say hi, Tom.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Jay Jennings. That's Tom Betts. We're the Spaghetti Western twins today, Tom. Let's show our t-shirts. Completely freaking unplanned. Insider. Tom and I really don't speak that often, so there's no way in hell we discussed this. So, Tom, were we on a mental plane or something?
I guess so. I just grabbed the T-shirt that was on top.
I figured you sent me two. One was to Peppa, the other was this. So 2 weeks in a row, I would pay honor to you. So how is it now?
Okay.
So, welcome. You can still hear me, Tom?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome to the Once Upon a Time in Spaghetti Westerns podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jennings, and that's the great Tom Betts. And I don't like when you fans are laughing. This is the museum piece that you saw earlier. That's Clint, the man with no name. Tom brought out his paper mache stand-in, which that's probably worth more. No, honestly, this is a rare piece that I picked up. Only a few were made. Got a museum of posters, as you know, Tom, statuary, that once this nightmare is over, I'm going to open it. Everybody can come and enjoy. I'll have an 8-foot Clint standing at the door. He's saying, come on in, hi. So, anyway, Tom, how was your weekend?
We put a patio cover on this week, so they were out in the patio all for 2 days. So, at least it's done. Next week they do the fence.
Oh, the fence. You know, they're doing construction where I am for the last 2 months straight. So, anyway, once again, welcome to the show, all you people watching on Facebook and on YouTube, fans of Spaghetti Westerns. Is it a dying genre? It could be, but not if we keep it alive, right, Tom? You,
That's right.
Seb, the community, the authors that are out there. It is like the lowest. It's got like, I think, 1 billion fans, Tom, for a low end red-steaded stepchild that's beaten and treated with. Oh, those are a joke. I post on one of the websites here that's not a Spaghetti Western one, and there's always a couple of people go, "Oh, I hate Spaghetti Westerns,"
and they don't do anything about them.
I'm like, okay,
Yep.
I would never say that publicly about Roy Rogers or Dale Evans movie, which the guy has all over his page. I actually like Roy Rogers and Dale Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Tom, we've got a great show. We really haven't told people what it's about. Sometimes I know in advance. No, I'm just kidding. I like to build up the suspense, Tom. It's character actors, Tom, who are known as
the known and the unknown. Yes.
Or for you people who are just tuning in, the known and the unknown. Tom and I are going to start, I think, either a 3 or 4 part series giving props to all those great character actors and bit actors and featured actors that we all remember, the names and the faces.
Or sometimes we know the face, but not the names.
Right, because they do have Italian names, and you're not going. And sometimes they took on a nice English name.
And sometimes they act under 2 or 3 names. Sometimes a real name, sometimes 1 or 2 aliases. So you see them in bit parts, you go, is that really so-and-so or whatever? So Jay's put together a nice list, a composite of different bigger named actors that you'll recognize, lower tier that you probably know the name but don't know the face, or vice versa. But we want to do, like Jay said, a number of shows to pick up on all these actors. So don't start screaming in the comments when you don't see a particular actor, because we haven't covered him today.
This is a 4-part series, folks. We're going alphabetical. It only makes sense, not who's the best and who isn't. We left out people, notables, who we've actually covered either in one of our past shows, like Al Murrah,
Al Mullock,
Al
Fernando
Mullock.
Sancho, Mario Brega.
Well, we covered these guys extensively, and we could
Yeah.
talk again about them. But we want to give these guys, who we haven't really mentioned much, in 33 shows, Tom.
This is episode 33.
That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's number on the Lakers, Tom.
There you go.
And he retired, of course. So we've got some. What I'm going to do is we're going to showcase these actors, and Tom and I will talk about them, and we welcome your comments too. I'll show some on the board. Who are some of your favorites? Of course, we're going to start off. We were going to go alphabetically, but we're going to start off with one guy called Eduardo Fajardo, who doesn't get a ton of credit for the work that he's done in, Django and, Stranger from Paso Bravo or Seven Pistols for a Massacre. But he's done a lot. So we're going to start with him, and then after Eduardo Fajardo, we're going to go alphabetical. So I did kind of give you a lie. I said we were going to go alphabetically completely, but we have to start with, I guess, the main Dune. I actually I compare him to Adolfo Chelly, Tom, who's also on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of interacted, kind of that same similar evil Bond villain, hint, type of look. So we're going to go through these. And it doesn't mean this is going to be a long show or whatever show. It's going to be a 4-part series, basically A to M or L or whenever we're doing. So your favorites are here. I'm glad you tuned in, and keep the questions coming. So Tom, we're going to start. I'll let you do the honors. Eduardo Fajardo, his various names, and the extensive filmography, which, yes, we will go down at a pace. But we're not going to go into the details of the year. We're just going to read what they were, because these films should be noted. Oh, he's in that. He's in that.
Yeah.
Tom, if you'd begin, please.
All right. Well, Eduardo Fajardo, he's listed several different spellings of his name, but the only unusual name he was billed under was Edward Hamilton. He was born Eduardo Martinez Fajardo on August 14th, 1924 in Mace, Pontevedra, Galicia, Spain. He died 2 years ago on July 4th, 2019 in Mexico City. You wonder why he died in Mexico City, because he had a daughter that lived there. And when he became feeble, he moved to Mexico City so she could take care of him. He actually lived in Mexico for a number of years in the 50s and appeared in films and TV series. So he was like Aldo Sambrell. He acted and appeared in films in both Spain and Mexico. One of the reasons he got big parts, because if you look at, when we go through his list of films, he was the head of the Spanish Actors Union in the 60s and 70s. So anytime they were going to make a film, a Spanish film, a co-production, he got the heads up, and he could select a part for himself or his best buddy, Fernando Sanchez. So that's why you usually see him or Fernando as the main villain in a lot of the big named top tier Westerns. But we'll go through a list of his films. I think there was 30 of them, Jay.
Yeah,
So,
well,
like you said, he was in a ton.
what we'll do is we'll just real quick, and then you can please list them real quick.
Sure.
He's one of my favorite character actors. He's the great bad guy in Django, of course. The Plan Blood. Can you imagine? There's Sergio and action. So at the end he falls, and then that paint, that fake blood coming out of his mouth. Legendary role. He's in a lot of movies that Tom's going to go through now,
Yeah.
but he's certainly a favorite of mine, and I know probably a bunch of yours, Tom. So what films? And this is most of these people are in 20, 30 films, Tom.
Yeah. He played mainly villains, military leaders, or government officials. So he always had big roles. He was usually billed like second or third in the billing. But he starts off in 1964 with Charge of the Seventh. Then he goes to A Coffin for the Sheriff, 65, Django, 65, Ringo's Big Night, 65, Ringo the Face of Revenge, 66, A Stranger in Paso Bravo, 66, Gentleman Killer, 67, Last of the Bad Men, 67, Seven Pistols for a Massacre, 67, Go for Broke, 68, Killer Adios, 68, The Mercenary, 68, One by One, 68, Tierra Brava, 68, Pistol for 100 Coffins, 68, Jay's favorite, Compañeros, 1970. Dead Men Ride, 70. A Man Called Apocalypse Joe, 70. Sabata the Killer, 70. Shango, 70. Bad Man's River, 71. The Bandit Metello, 71. Long Live Your Death, 71. What Am I Doing in the Middle of the Revolution, 71. Sonny and Jed, 72. Sting of the West, 72. Tequila, 72. The Three Musketeers of the West, 73. Yankee Dudler, 73. Valley of the Dancing Widows, 74. And the last one he appeared in was Yellow Hair in the Fortress of Gold in 1984.
We'll include Yellow Hair, Tom.
Yep.
Eduardo Fajardo does not get the props. I'd say he's up there with character actors. Anyway, that's why we're doing this show, Tom, to honor him. We actually could have done a show on him. But we decided to do the known and the unknown. So I think that basically sums it up. Great guy. As I said, Adolfo Chelly is also in this list. Adolfo Chelly made 2 spaghetti westerns, I think, or 3. He's mostly known as a Bond villain, but he's so memorable, like Eduardo Fajardo, that we put him in the list. Anyway, Tom, what's your last word on him? Would you say he's probably the I don't know, the king, or would he be like the top known?
He's right there with Fernando. Yeah, where Fernando is sort of a comic bad guy. Fernando is the dramatic villain in the Spanish and co-production westerns.
Right. No, definitely. So, and then we're gonna move on down the road. God, I guess I was lying, Tom.
Don't do them in alphabetical order because I don't have them set up. I've got them set up the way you sent me the list.
I forgot to give Tom my list this morning, so just follow along with me, Tom.
All right.
And I'm doing a lot of what do you call it? Scrambling. But don't. Here we go. I'm ready. I love doing live TV because it's fun. So let's open up a few of these photos and get to our next guy on the list who could possibly be number 2. But not as much as a side guy, Tom, but more of a more of a leading man. But he's great in what he is. One of the lone Americans who did well, like Craig Hill and a few others who did really well as an American that went over there and had a good career. And of course, I'm talking about. I'm sure everyone's wondering, Jay, who are you mentioning? Where would we be without Frank Wolf, Tom?
Yep. You're going to list his westerns, but
everybody
that I talked to that was an American actor over there, when I asked him who was the best actor over there, they always would say Frank Wolf.
No, he's one of my favorites. As you well know, I'm not too much of a fan of the comedic movies or the ones he made with Terence Hill. But in those, he's great as the guy who's, wheeling and dealing and double crossing and let me tell you what I'm going to do next, and offering a new deal. And of course, he's the landowner. What's his name, Tom? From Once Upon a Time.
Oh, Once Upon a Time in the West, Brett McBain.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to Miss McBain. Had to throw in a Henry in there, Tom.
He can turn on a dime from being sort of a funny, lackadaisical guy to all of a sudden his eyes get serious.
Right, Mr. McBain. Yep. So I'm going to read a little bit about Frank. Frank Wolf, born 5/11/28, Frisco. He died in 1971. Unfortunately, he committed suicide, Tom. That's a terrible thing. I forgot about that. Anyway, he did a lot of stuff: cinematographer, cameraman, theater. Let's see. His famous films are A Few Dollars for Django in '66, God Forgives, I Don't '66, Ringo the Face of Revenge '66. '66 was a good year. A Stranger in Town, really Tom, as Aguila. Last of the Bad Men. Via Rides, he had a nice little part in that. Of course, The Great Silence. He's basically in all the classics, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I came, I saw, I shot, I got rehired. I came back the next day in '68. And of course, he's in one of my favorite the kind of revolution films, the Kill Them All and Come Back Alone with Chuck Connors.
Yep.
As Captain Lynch. And I don't like any of the posters for Kill Them All and Come Back Alone. They're all wooden. They don't make Chuck look good. They have the 8 guys in little squares.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Of course, Once Upon a Time in the West is Mr. McBain. I'm going to go out and see Miss McBain later. Okay. Western. I should stop, Tom. Western Italian style. And his last spaghetti Western, Tom, what was the name of his character?
Buddy Ben. Chris Casey's favorite name, character, Buddy Ben. But we should talk for a second on Western Italian style. Frank filmed a lot of scenes behind the action and for the films he was in, and they pieced them together with the interviews with Corbucci and some of the other actors and directors, and they released it. And it's on one of the DVDs of The Great Silence as an extra. And if you ever get a chance to watch it, watch it. It's a fantastic little documentary on the Italian Westerns.
Oh, okay. Very cool, Tom. So, what are you looking for, Tom?
I'm guessing on what you're going to do next.
That's okay. Just look straight at the camera and whatever you grab at, you grab at.
Okay.
Who's next, Tom?
Well, on my list, I got Adolfo Chelly.
That's exactly who it is. And I envy you because he's one of my favorite.
You froze. He's frozen on there. I'm going to go ahead and go with Adolfo Chelly. He was born in July 27th, 1922 in Messina, Sicily, Italy. And he died on February 19th, 1986, Siena, Tuscany, Italy, of an aortic aneurysm. He was a producer, director, writer, theater, film actor, married to actress Tonia Carrero from 51 to 62, and then he married a model actress, Maria Branco. He was married a couple times after that. He's best remembered as the villain Emilio Largo in the James Bond film Thunderball, and he did 3 spaghetti westerns: Yankee in 66, Death Sentence in 67, and Once Upon a Time in 1968, but his scene was cut out of that movie. So even though you may see him listed, he was not officially in Once Upon a Time in the West. Okay, you back? You unfrozen? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. One moment, please. Stand by. This is one of the features of the podcast, is the lottery on Wednesdays. Mike's going to go out, or he freeze frames. So we'll work.
How's that, Tom?
There you go. I got you.
Right. Can you say something, Tom?
I can say something. What do you want me to say? Who's the next guy on the list?
Right. Sorry about technical difficulties, folks. That's weird. I'm hearing an echo of myself, Tom.
A little bit. Only when you get close to the camera.
Well, that's not good.
That's good there.
Wait a minute, Tom.
Can't hear you when you go there.
But now you can hear me.
Now I can hear you.
There's 3 of me live on the air, Tom.
Share, Jay. Share, Jay.
How is it now, Tom?
Now I hear you.
Okay, we good to go?
Yep.
I did a reboot of the entire system, folks. Sorry about that. Live on the air. So
He'll trim
Adolfo
it for
Chelly.
Facebook, so don't worry. We did
Right.
last week.
Anyway, I'll edit it out, folks. Doesn't matter. Adolfo Chelly, great guy. I didn't get to show another photo of him because of the technical difficulties. That's just him in
There he
Yankee,
is.
Tom.
Yankee. Yep.
Underrated film, Tom.
Yep.
It's actually not
Lithographs.
bad.
Yep.
I had to come around to it finally.
It's it's an oddball compared to the normal spaghetti westerns we watch, but it's good.
Oh, it's the filmmaking is good. I just
Yeah.
as a film, all the people in it didn't, and then I realized Adolfo was in it. But should we show him his what's his Bond
There we
villain name
go.
again?
He's Emilio Largo
That's right,
in Thunderball. Yep.
Mr. Bond. Would you like to play for your life or
Yeah.
money? Yeah. Anyway, who do you have? Do you have Aldo Berti next, Tom?
Yeah, Aldo Berti. Yep.
All right, so I'll do Aldo. Very underrated guy. Let me
Yeah.
try and get his photos up there. Tom,
Always
tell
looked-
me a little.
Well, he always looked American to me when I saw him. I said, "This guy's got to be American. He can't be Italian or German. He looks like an American." But you want me to give the bio while you're?
Wait a minute, Tom. I'm
All right.
almost there. Okay, I'm good. No, what he went by another. The only thing you can tell me, what was his American name again, Tom?
Well, he went by Steve St. Clair and
That-
also Richard McMorry.
Yeah, that's
But look
the
at
one
that
that
face. I mean, that didn't look American. He looked like an American surfer.
Well, yeah. Aldo Berti kind of looks like William Berger a little bit.
Yeah, there. Yep, with the hair. Yep. It's a banjo.
I know him as Steve St. Clair. You see that in the credits.
Yep.
Once in a while, he's Richard McMorry, born in 36, San Clemente, Florence, Italy. Oh, he died of brain cancer in 2010. That's
Yep.
sad. He was a poet and author. His first film he made with Anthony Stephan and Dan Martin, 64, Last Tomahawk. Stranger in Sacramento with Miggy Hargitay, Why Kill Again in 65. Go with Gringo in 66. He's in the underrated Ramon the Mexican, 66. Stranger in Town, that's cool. He's in Born to Kill. The Dirty Outlaws, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
A Long Ride from Hell with our good friend Steve Reeves. Once Upon a Time in the West. I didn't recognize him. He's one of Frank's henchmen. Of course he is.
Yep.
But another guy we're doing a feature on is also in, and that's where he spits and goes, well, now that
You see him in the train car.
the name. El Puro. Wow, this guy is in classic after classic, Tom.
Yep.
Ballad of Death Valley in 70. Have a Nice Funeral, My Friend, 70. Hey Amigo, To Your Death. A Gunman Called Dakota. Guns for Dollars. Mallory Must Not Die. Robert Woods must know this guy
Yeah, he
pretty
must,
well.
Yep.
A Gunman Called Dakota. Gunman and the Holy Ghost. These are all 71, 72. And Return of the Holy Ghost. He played Bogey.
Yep.
Underrated actor. Kind of looks like James Brolin a little bit, Tom. What do you think?
Well, when you see his face like that, Jay, and you know who it is, you see him all the time in the westerns, and he usually plays gang members, henchmen, secondary roles. But
What a great face.
Yep. One of those guys. When you see him, it's like, okay, I remember this guy, and you don't forget the face.
Right. He's in a ton of classics. He might not have a line or two.
Yep.
I mean, I think he does in Once Upon a Time, but yeah, it's one of those I'm glad we found this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's next on the list on today's
I've got Amerigo Castricella.
Okay, and I the name sounds familiar. Oh, he's in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tom, we'll be here all day.
Yeah. This one I'll go quick. I mean, because I don't know much. I have no birth date, no death date. We know him more as Custer Gale and Amerigo Leone and Castry Gay from the Fedani movies.
Oh, he is Tom. He is very familiar.
Yeah, once you see his face, you'll know him, but you'll never recognize him as Amerigo Castricella.
Well, he made a couple of Fedani movies. Here he is with Simone.
Yep. Heavy set guy, big, always has a beard. Yep, there he is with Simone. But
So you can read off his credits.
I'll go through his credits real quick. Big Gun Down, Brute and the Beast, the Golden Sheriff, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Ringo and his Golden Pistol, Three Graves for a Winchester, Chimango, Death Rides Along, Death Rides a Horse, Django the Last Killer, Don't Wait, Django Shoot, Kill and Pray, Stranger Returns, Up the McGregors, and A Roof for a Sky Full of Stars, and Now Make Your Peace with God, and Then a Time for Killing, Death Rides a Horse, God May Forgive You, Not Me, A Hole in the Forehead, A Man Called Amen, Strangers Say Your Prayers, Tequila Joe, Sartana and His Shadow of Death, Quintana Dead or Alive, and those are just through 69. They Came to Kill Sartana, Django and Sartana Are Coming, It's the End, Dead Men Don't Make Shadows, Adios Compañeros, Down with Your Hands, You Scum, A Fistful of Death, His Name Was Pot, They Called Him Allegria, Pistol Packin' Preacher, Savage Guns, Showdown for a Bad Man, They Called Him Trinity, Himself, His Cult, His Revenge, Anything for a Friend, A Bounty Killer for Trinity, Stay Away from Trinity When He Comes to El Dorado, His Cult, Himself, His Revenge, When the Devil Grips a Cult, Behold the Strange Stimulating Smell of Dollars, Cult in the Hand of the Devil, and Who's Afraid of Zorro in 75, and that was his last Western.
Oh yeah, he's very memorable. Kind of look like Wells with a darkened beard. Yeah.
Yep. Always plays a henchman or gang member.
Totally remember. He's in a lot of stuff. A lot of these gentlemen. That's why there are some books and some blogs, but that's why Tom and I are going to put these together in 3 or 4 shows, and we're going to name all of these great character actors. Hence, the known and the unknown.
Italy is probably not as big as California, so they only had so many actors to pick from in Spain and Italy. So you see them over and over again in these roles.
Oh, I have the honor of doing Chip Corman, Tom.
There you go, Andrea Giordano.
Okay, let's see here. All righty. Let's get his first photo up there. Anyway, this is when he was young and starting out, Tom.
Yep.
Chip Corman. No, of course he's in The Dirty Outlaws, The Wild and the Dirty, and A Taste of Death. And Massacre, of course, at the Grand Canyon.
He's
I
think he's uncredited in there.
I think you're right. I don't think he is credited.
He plays Clay Dancer, the young son. Yep.
But the one he's known for is The Dirty Outlaw, or was Johnny Hamlet? Or
The Wild and the Dirty. Yep.
Yeah. Actually, the filmmaking is very artsy. He made some American films. He lived a long life. I'm not sure he could still be alive, Tom.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's born in 46.
And his son looks like him, right, Tom?
Yep. I think, Jay, he went by Chip Corman because his family, Claudia Gora was his father, and actress Marina Berti, he may have felt that the spaghetti westerns were below what they acted in films, so he changed his name not to disgrace the family name.
But that's the photo I think we recognize him as.
There we go. Dirty Outlaws, yep.
Johnny Hamlet, right, Tom?
That's it. No, I think that's Dirty Outlaws.
Oh, you're right. I mix up two. I always mix up actors, Tom.
He looks the same.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Different film, different actor. Anyway, the great Chip Corman. That's what I'm calling him, Tom.
That's it.
Didn't make a lot of spaghetti westerns, but of course those 3, he's memorable. Doesn't one of them open? Yeah, where he's dragged along the mud.
Yep. Yeah.
Which one is that, Tom?
It could be all 3.
Which one?
I think it's all 3. I think in the beginning in Dirty Outlaws is where he's dragged in the beginning.
Right, and it's raining and it's muddy.
Yeah.
But what movie starts with a fire with a log cabin on fire, Tom?
Oh God, that's another dozen. Yeah, Sartana films. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Tom, you get the honor of doing our next known and unknown, and I think was that Angel Alvarez.
Yeah, I got Angel Alvarez. He went by Albert Alvarez, and just Alvarez sometimes. He was born Angel Alvarez Fernandez, September 26, 1906 in Madrid. He died on December 13th, 83 in Madrid. He was a production manager, an assistant director, writer, songwriter, theater, film, TV actor. So he's one of the older actors in the genre. He goes back to his first appearance as Coyote in the Coyote 54, Judgment on Coyote 56.
Well, Tom, I was going to
Juanito.
say before, wait, hold on. He has that Zero Mostel look going for
Yeah,
him.
he sure does. Yeah, as soon as you said that, bingo, exactly. Zero Mostel. That's
Right.
from
Like
Django.
what was it? The greatest bank robbery, the
Yeah,
great bank robbery
yeah,
with
great bank robbery.
with Kim Novak
So,
and Clint Walker.
yeah.
Okay.
So then he was in Juanito in 58, Zorro the Avenger 62, The Return of Clay Stone and $3 of Lead in 64, Weeping for a Bandit 64, and then is probably his best known appearance as Nathaniel in Django in 65, the saloon operator. Fury of Johnny Kidd in 66, Navajo Joe, he's got a big role in there, 66. Barkeeper in Cemetery Without Crosses in 68. Dueling Eclipse, 68. The Mercenary, 68. Guns of the Revolution, 69. The Price of Power, 69. Adios Sabata in 70. Massacre at Fort Holman in 72. Sting of the West in 72. And Yankee Dudler in 73.
Yeah, yeah, he's made a ton of movies. As I said, a lot of these actors have been in 15, 20, 25 films, which is the one where he plays the fiddle, Tom?
Oh, that's Navajo Joe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's very recognizable once you know the face and the name. Yep.
Oh, right. And he also looks like this other actor from the 60s who was in a lot of TV. He did Twilight Zone episodes, and he's another actor whose face, yeah, I think he plays the devil in one episode, and he tries to sign a guy with his soul. Anyway, so great character actor, great face. And that's what we're doing here on the special known and unknown character actors of spaghetti westerns. I'm Jay Jennings. That's the great Tom Betts. We're both wearing our spaghetti heroes. We're like the Wonder Twins, Tom. Anyway, so I'm here with Clint. I don't like you laughing. And it's too bad, Clint, because I laugh a lot. Well, you better stop. So let's continue on as we honor the known and the unknown of spaghetti western stars. Is it Antonio Casas, Tom?
Yeah, it's next. Yep.
Okay, great. The one and only Antonio Casas, who does that great role. How much can I pay you to kill him? You know, once a job's paid, it's paid.
That's right.
No.
Once I take a job,
you got
I it through. Yep.
Anyway, anyway, at the end of the show, remind me, Tom, I've got a special announcement surprise for the crowd.
Okay.
At the end of the show. But anyway, he's most famous for the guy eating his meat potatoes in his adobe house with his Mexican wife.
Yep.
And that's, of course, Antonio Casas. Legendary actor, made a lot of films in Spain, Tom. And let me get rid of that. And he was born in 1911, so he's one of the older generation actors.
Yep.
Antonio Casas Barros, or I Coruña, Galicia, or that's where he was born, in Galicia, Spain. Died in 82, played soccer when he was younger, theater, film, TV actor. Of course, remembered as Stevens. Absolutely, a great way to open a movie. You know, the second you saw him and you saw the kid and the wife, you know, it was going to be a great scene. I mean, you saw it right when it happened. Tom, you think they were actually going to finish the scene? He was going to eat the meal?
Yeah, he's going to get a bullet for dessert. Yeah, exactly.
Right. But that, I tell you, it made me want to have a piece of big bread and a stew.
Yeah. I always like that scene where Lee's eating those peppers in that stew. Yeah.
Right. So he started off early in life, Tom. Three in 54, Juanito. 58, Ride and Kill. He's in also Minnesota Clay. I think I have a picture of that as well. $4 of Revenge, 65. Pistol for Ringo, 65. Return of Ringo, 65.
Yeah, plays Major Clyde. Yep.
Right. And then Sheriff Carson, Son of a Gunfighter in 65. 65 was a good year. It was for a lot of spaghetti western actors. Yeah. The Big Gun Down. Of course, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which we just showcased.
Real quick in the Big Gun Down, because people will say I don't remember him now. He played in a cut scene. He played Brother Smith and Wesson.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That scene where he picks up the gun and twirls it around. He was a gunfighter that became a priest. Yep.
Right. No, and of course the Texican 66, Face to Face 67. He's in all this. All these people are in all my favorite spaghetti westerns. Face to Face. You don't hear enough about that. $20,000 for 768. The Price of Power 69. Sundance Cassidy and Butch the Kid. That's a favorite of mine, Tom. 69. $20,000. Oh, we already said that. When Satan Grips the Colt, Tom. But the question is, which version of that, Tom?
Yeah, really, I don't know.
The Ballad of Ben and Charlie, of course. The Legend of Frenchy King, Pancho Villa, and then, of course, my personal favorite, this Three Supermen of the West. But here's a later in life shot.
Yep.
What film is that from, Tom?
I can't tell you.
Chris Casey, what film is that from?
Anyway, he played father figures and more adult roles because he was older than the rest of the stars.
Right. I've been waiting for you. That's what he says to Lee. So anyway, great actor. And we're going to move on down the list of the known and the unknown. I'm reading some of your comments. They're kind of on the same line of the people we're reviewing. Is it time for the guy with three names, Tom?
Antonio Molina Rojo.
A favorite of mine because he's got that dastardly look.
Yeah.
And of course, he doesn't give this. Oh, he doesn't give the spit, but he's the guy who makes Clint say, "I don't like you laughing."
Yeah, we don't have him on this list.
Who's that?
I'm not going to tell you. We got to save it for later.
The guy who actually spits?
Yeah, but he's one of the guys that laughs at Clint.
I'm so glad I saved that, Tom. Anyway, this is Antonio Molino. You could take it over from here.
Okay, he's also known as Tony Chandler, Red Mills, Anthony Molino, Antonio Molino, Anthony Mulligan, Molino Rocho, A. Molino Rojo, Antonio Molino Rojo, and Molino Rojo. He was born on September 14th, 1926 in Valencia, Spain, died November 2nd, 2011 in Barcelona. He was a producer, director, stuntman, film actor, and he was a Spanish regular, usually as a villain. He's in all the Leone films, I believe. He starts off in 62 with The Terrible Sheriff. He's in Welcome, Padre Murray, Zorro the Avenger, all of those 62. Fistful of Dollars, $5,000 on One Ace, Two Violent Men, Zorro the Avenger, all in 64. Ballad of a Bounty Hunter, Black Eagle of Santa Fe, Finger on the Trigger, For a Few Dollars More, $4 of Revenge, Man from Canyon City, Place Called Glory, 7 Guns for the McGregors, 7 Hours of Gunfire. All of those were just 65. So he must have been sleeping and eating and living on the sets. In 66, he was in The Big Gun Down, Five Giants from Texas, Fort Yuma Gold, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And you go, wait a minute, he wasn't in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, he played the commandant of Betterville that condemns Lee for, there he is, perfect shot of him. That's Antonio Molina Rojo, completely disguised in there.
That's Tom. That's probably outside of playing an evil character.
Yep.
If he only would have made one film and you never heard of him again, playing this colonel, it was a nice scene for him. Yep. And I was like, that's so memorable.
Exactly. Yep. Then he was in The Texican. He was in Ace High, For a Few Bullets More, A Minute to Pray, A Second to Die, Boot Hill, Cemetery Without Crosses, 15 Scaffolds for a Killer, $4 of Revenge, Kill Them All and Come Back Alone, Once Upon a Time in the West. He plays one of Frank's henchmen. At the auction scene, you'll see him. Gringo, 69, 20 Paces to Death, When Satan Grips the Colt. Don't ask me, Jay, which one it is. Arizona Returns. Those were 69 and 70. Stagecoach Condemned. The Buzzards and Crows Will Dig Your Grave. A Cry of Death. 4 Candles for My Colt. Requiem for a Bounty Hunter. And the Crows Will Dig Your Grave. The Federal Man. My Name is Nobody. Now They Call Him Sacramento. Death Played the Flute. 20 Paces to Death, and his last was 76, Red Harvest. So he's in a ton.
He is, Tom. Just playing with the Chiron for a second there.
No problem.
No, he great. He's in so many films, and his face is so recognizable. Kind of like not a kind of handsome guy like a Glenn Saxon, who's behind me.
Right.
But still that rugged look, and he's in everything. He's got, oh, this is a cool film. He's in it.
Yep.
That kind of thing. So anyway, let's move on to the next one, Tom. And I think I got that guy covered. It's Artemio Antonini, Tom.
Yeah, an unknown name for most people. But you'll recognize the face.
Well, we got him covered here.
Yep.
And I'm going to do a little bio on him as soon as I can share the screen. Oh, okay. Wait a second, Tom. I got it covered. Bear with me. Oh, he's one of those guys that's kind of got like a scar-faced.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of is like the Robert Zeedar, who's this B-movie character actor who passed away in the 80s and 90s with a big head. But he got him great roles. Maniac Cop. This guy was the Robert Zeedar of his time, Tom, Artemio Antonini. He's got that big head.
Yep.
Look at those features. I mean, that's why he worked, Tom. He's in almost everything.
Yep. He wasn't in a lot of the big name films, but he was in the second tier.
Oh, absolutely.
As a regular in those. Yep.
Also Alvaro Arnez, born in 24, died in 01. He started off two mafia men in the far west. You can't blame him. He was set on fire. So maybe he was a stuntman, Tom.
Yep, stuntman, I'm sure.
Started off as a stuntman. He's in the Tramplers. Remember, he's Cordine's henchman. Mm-hmm. He's in Cisco 66. Here's A Colt in the Hand of the Devil in 67. Then he's in The Handsome, the Ugly, and the Stupid, which is one I'm so glad that I passed on. Right, Tom?
That's a Franco Ciccio, yeah.
By the way, that's why I took off Ciccio off the list, Tom.
Oh, did you? Okay.
People are gonna get mad at me. You can't do it. No, I actually looked at the films, and yes, he was the, what do you call them? The Charlie Chaplin of spaghetti westerns. Anyway, let's move on. He's in The Two Faces of the Dollar, 67, Dead for a Dollar. Didn't do much there, Tom. Find a Place to Die, The Longest Hunt, Zorro the Fox, 68, Five Man Army. Of course, he's the prison guard. If you blink, you'll miss him. He's in Quintana, Dead or Alive. A lot of these, he didn't have lines, Tom.
Nope, small parts.
But the ones he did have lines are memorable. Man Called Apocalypse Joe in 70. They Call Me Trinity, 70. He's in Wanted Sabana. If you remember, he's one of the bounty hunters. In Django Adios, he's a bounty hunter. In 71, Let's Go and Kill Sartana. 71, he's in Mallory Must Not Die.
What's his character's name, Jay?
Bandit?
Yeah, what? No, in Mallory Must Not Die.
Oh, he's Block Stone. Tom, we've got Jack
Block
Rocks
Stone,
and
yeah.
Block Stone, Tom.
He's listed in the phone book as Stone Block. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Stone Block. Nice to meet you. Anyway, he's in Trinity Is Still My Name. He did the stunts. He actually might have coordinated the stunt work in that film, Tom.
Could be.
Two Sons of Trinity, 71. He's one of the monks. And of course, he's in Alleluia and Sartana, Sons of God. And Cowboy Kid, he's a saloon patron. He's in Jesse and Lester. I think he has a line in Jesse and Lester, Tom, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I think he does have a line or two. And then, because remember, we're the historians here, but if you know better than I, you let us know. Yes, Jay, he did have two lines. He's in The Long Ride of Revenge. He was a brawler. So The Magnificent West, Seven Devils on Horseback. All these guys in the list, Tom, they all work together. Mm-hmm. It's not like they only worked in one film. All these guys, these are all redundant films. They all worked. Hey, nice to see you. So all these 6 or 5 guys we've done so far. They've all worked in the same movies in the same industry among the same circles.
Yep.
They call me Amen. They still call me Amen. They call me Amen, but even though my name is Tom Betts, when the devil grips a colt, these are all 72. They call me Providence. Wow. Behold the strange, stimulating smell of dollars. 73. Carambola, 73. Fast Hand is still my name, 73. Tom, I might have you read all these, Tom.
I
Those
know.
Dirty Dogs. 73. The Crazy Bunch, also known as another title. White Fang and Gold Diggers, We Are No Angels, White Fang and Hunter, and he ended his spaghetti western career with Macho Killers. I think I have one more photo of him, Tom. Oh, no, that's it. Who's next, Tom? Who's another great unknown?
One that we had requested, Benito Stefanelli.
Oh, he's a fan favorite, Tom. Everyone loves Benito.
One of the greats.
So let me get his photos ready.
While you're doing that, there's two guys that counter each other. Benito Stefanelli is the greatest of the Italian character actor stuntmen. His counterpart in Spain was Frank Brana, and they counteract. If you see one in the Italian version, you'll see the other one in a Spanish version. They're just fantastic. I love them both. But,
so wait a minute. So Tom, so my take on Benito is he's a cross between John Garco and William and Billy Bergen again, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
So he has he's like a thinning haired.
He's got gray hair. Yeah, him and Frank Brana have the grayish hair, dark eyebrows.
But those two are legendary guys in the stunt and in the featured world. Yep. But we've been getting his name requested, so now we have it for you, Tom. We'll now go in depth for the next 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah. Benito Stefanelli, also known as Benny Reeves and Ben Stefan. He was born in September 2nd, 1928 in Rome. He died December 18th, 1999 in Rome. He was an assistant director, a stunt coordinator, stuntman, master of arms, film, voice actor. He was married to Adelina Stefanelli and father of the actor and stuntman Marco Stefanelli. To me, like I said, he's the Italian Frank Brana. He started out in 59 in the Sheriff, then the Terror of Oklahoma, 59, Massacre at Grand Canyon, 63, Die for a Dollar in Tucson, 64, Fistful of Dollars, 64, played Rubio, Blood for a Silver Dollar in 65 as Benny Reeves, Dollars for a Fast Gun in 65, For a Few Dollars More in 65, The Big Gun Down in 66, plays one of Nieves Navarro's workers named Jess. He was in Fort Yuma Gold in 66, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He was one of Angel Eye's gang members and the stunt coordinator in that film. Hellbenders in 66, Day of Anger, 67. He plays Owen White, who does the duel with Lee on horseback. Great role in that one. Gentleman Killer in 67, Kill the Wicked in 67, A Minute to Pray, A Second to Die in 67, Wanted 67, and For a Roof for a Sky Full of Stars in 68, Cemetery Without Crosses in 68, Master of Arms and stunt coordinator in that one also. Night of the Serpent, 68, Once Upon a Time in the West, 68, plays one of Frank's henchmen. Two Pistols and a Coward in 68, Price of Power, 69, plays Sheriff Jefferson. Really a tough, mean role in that one. Duck You Sucker, 71, A Man Called Django in 71, Trinity Is Still My Name in 71, plays Stingray Smith. Massacre at Fort Holman in 72, My Name Is Nobody in 72, stunt coordinator also. White Fang to the Rescue in 74, also a stunt coordinator. The Genius in 75, plays Mortimer. And his last Western was Macho Killers in 77, plays Sheriff Teddy Ross.
Tom, you see the Garco resemblance there?
Yeah, I see the mustache too.
It's uncanny.
Yep. He's got something on his left eye, that wrinkle or crease or scar that makes him stand out, that you can recognize him right away.
Right. Oh, no, great character actor. Right, the Italian Frank Brana, exactly. Okay, so another great actor we have now covered. We'll continue now, Tom, with Who is next on the list? It's Bruno Corazzari, Tom.
Yep, exactly.
Another guy whose face you recognize. He can go from looking like Peter Lorre to looking like Tony Franciosa, to looking like Marty Feldman. He had that character look, and depending on whether he was shaved or not,
Yeah.
he had that look of he's always a henchman or an evil.
Yeah,
poker.
he's always a sleazy henchman. Exactly.
He's a sleazy poker player.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah, he's the type. Yeah.
You kind of need that. So when I
Squealer.
guess, and of course, Klaus Kinski was beneath that. I'm not playing such a role. You got someone like him who he plays the sleazy guy. I seen your picture on a wanted sign.
Yep.
So anyway, born
The
Richard
snitch,
Harley,
19, yep.
Right? Well, not born. He was also known as Richard Harley. He was born in Italy. Tom did theater work, film, TV, voice. Of course, as you said, a slimy villain. This is the face I kind of remember him as.
Yep. Got light hair.
Right. Wavy. Right. It's like you need a sleazy guy, you called him. Hallelujah for Django, 66. Death Rides a Horse, 67. Vengeance is Mine, 67. Ace High, 68. Bell Stars, 68. A Taste of Death, he played Skeed.
Yeah.
Death Rides a Horse. Or he's a sleazy bartender. Yeah, what do you need? The Great Silence. The Long Ride from Hell, 68. These are all 68. The Mercenary, he's got that quick bit. Once Upon a Time in the West, you can obviously see him as one of Cheyenne's henchmen. I think he's on the train, if I'm not mistaken, Tom. Or is he in the cabin with Bronson?
I think you see him basically at the way station.
Oh, okay. Vengeance is Mine, 68. He's in Adios Sabada. I'm trying to search some other looks. Oh, this is the other look that he's known for, Tom.
Yep, the blonde hair.
Right, with the beard.
With the beard.
So that's why he was a jack of all trades. This is why I love the spaghetti westerns. Not only for the big stars, but for these guys who can just, on the drop of a dime or a new film, grow your hair, grow a beard. Unlike American actors do that too, but not, I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. They would churn out these, how many, you can make how many films in location you set up shop and shoot in another place, Tom.
Exactly.
It's all using the same location. Okay, let's move on. He's in Gunman in Town, Light the Fuse, Sartan is Coming. I think that's what that might be from. And I got another photo to show. Oh, here he is. Tom, what film is this?
He's eating a chicken. The Great Silence. He's eating chicken, in this.
Right. The great scene, of course.
Chopping down.
He's in...
big role in Man Called Sledge. Plays one of our Garner's compadres. Bice.
Okay. He's in Roy Colt and Winchester Jack, Stage of the Condemned, Drummer of Vengeance, For the Apocalypse, Red Coat, and he ended his career. He decided to go as Richard Harley, Tom, in Thunder Warrior.
Yep.
Oh, let's not forget Vendetta at Dawn, which is a favorite. Tom, so who's next up on the list?
Dan Van Husen.
Oh, the late Dan Van Husen, great character actor. Made a lot of great films.
Yep.
Had that look. He was a personal friend, wasn't he, Tom?
Yeah, he was a personal friend of mine, yep. He went by Dan Van Husen, spelled different ways. Rudolph Van Husen once. He was born April 30th, 45 in Gummersbach, Renania, Settenrionale, Westphalia, Germany. Died on May 25th, 2020 in Ilminster, Somerset, England, UK of COVID. If you disagree with that, I got that directly from his sister because there was rumors that he died in Holland and all over the place, but he died in England. He started out as a DJ. He was a film, TV actor, married to Maria Gustafson, who was in a couple of spaghetti westerns as Saloon Girls. She's on Facebook if you want to look her up. And then he was married to Linda Van Husen when he passed away. He was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award at the All Maria Western Film Festival. He was an omnipresent character actor, and he was very well loved by fans. He was like Robert Woods. He was open to fans all the time, and you could never bother him. He'd answer any question you had and hung out with the guys. So he started out in '69 in A Bullet for Sandoval, plays Mestizo. Then he was in El Condor in '69, Sundance Cassidy and Butch the Kid in '69, Another Dollar for the McGregors in '70, Arizona Kid in '70, Arizona Returns in '70, Cannon for Cordoba in '70. He's got a real quick role in there as a soldier. Captain Apache plays Ben, 1970. Cutthroats 9 plays Lackeys, another one of the guards, 70. Doc, he plays a Clanton cowboy in '70. He's at the very end in the corral shootout. Gunman in Town, 70. Badman's River, 71. Catlow, here with Lee Van Cleef. That's where that's shot. I'm sorry, that's not Catlow. That's from Badman's River. That's Catlow. He played Dutch. That's
Captain Apache, Tom.
Yeah, is it Captain Apache? Long Live Your Death, 71. Pancho Villa, 71. Hallelujah and Sartana, Sons of God. Cry of the Black Wolf, 72. Sonny and Jed, 72. Yankee Dudler, 73. Spaghetti Western, 74, which was also Sapola Colt. The White, the Yellow, and the Black in 74. Montana Trap in 75. And the last appearance that he had was at Stagecoach Driver in Brimstone in 2011. He was supposed to be in A Price of Death, which they were going to film, which was stopped because of the COVID, which has not been released yet. So that's he was also signed to do a remake of Cutthroats 9 in 24, but it never happened. But that's the list of Dan's Westerns.
Yeah, Dan was a great character actor. And remarkable, great. He took his roles. He was very memorable. Unlike all the gentlemen that we've mentioned here today, but yeah, there was something special about Dan. Nice guy. So let's move on, Tom, to our next contestant here on The Price is Spaghetti Western. Oh, Tom dabbling in a little. I thought he could sneak it in. Right, Tom. We discussed this guy briefly last week. He's a personal fave. Don't ask me why. He plays some poor schlub in most of these films, but he had that one starring role. He's kind of like a cult figure to me, even though he looks like he could have been on Gunsmoke every week, especially in one of the looks where he has the scruff. But the scruff was his. He was doing Clint Eastwood with that. But anyway, we're talking about the one and only Dino Strano, Tom.
Yep.
And I guess I'll read a little bit about Dino. Or Dean Strano, or Dean Stratford, I think, as his friends might call him. Yeah.
Yep.
Born in 35 in Italy, died in 82 in Sicily. Acrobat, master of arms, stuntman, theater and film actor. He, as well as many others, got their start in Two Mafia Men in the Far West, Tom. 64, Death at Orwell Rocks. Go with God Gringo. These are all late 66. The Two Sons of Ringo, Thompson, 1880. He played Axel, Tom.
Axel.
Jamango, yeah. Sean Todd's film. The Dirty Outlaws again. So all these actors were all in each other's films.
Yep.
Oh, must have been great to see each other on the set. Don't Wait, Django, Shoot, 67. These are all 67. Two Faces of the Dollar. The Winchester Does Not Forgive, but Tom Betts does. I love that line. That's the line in the poster, Tom. A Wreath for the Bandits, Boot Hill. That's the look that I think he's known for, Tom. What do you think? God May Forgive You, Not Me. 68, Shadow of Sartana, Shadow of Tom Betts. 68, Strangers Say Your Prayers, Quintanas, Dead or Alive, The Unholy Four. These are all 69. Brother Outlaw, oh, that was 70. One Damn Day at Dawn, Jay Met Tom. Shoot the Living, Pray for the Dead, 70. Finders Killer, 71. The Last Trader, 71. Never Made, La Humo della Colt Bianca. What's a few people were supposed to be in that, Tom?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like it's the man from White Colt or something. haven't got a clue.
Right. He's also in Savage Guns. They called him Trinity himself. His Colt, his revenge. That's 71. Of course, The Ballad of Django, 72. On the third day arrived The Crow, one of my favorite titles, 72. Seven Devils on Horseback. Has the trailer, which is actually better than the movie, but that's okay, 72. And of course, Tom, in 75, he said so long with Young Guns Go West.
Yeah, he was a
But
master of arms in that one.
right, but Dino Strano, one of my favorite character actors of all time. Who's next, Tom?
How about Enzo Fermatti?
Oh, another good one, Tom. Okay, tell us about Enzo.
Well, now, Enzo was actually a good actor. He wasn't an unknown or a character actor. He had a career. He was also known as William Byrd, Enzo Fearman, Glenn Fortell, Glenn Foster, and William Stockridge. He was born Vincenzo Fermatti, July 17th, 1908, in Bari, Puglia, Italy. Died on March 22nd, 1993, in Mentana, Lazio, Italy. He started out as a boxer, became a director, a writer, a film actor, was married to Tosca Minetti, and was the father of John Fermatti. Then he married Madeline Astor of the Astor family, and was stepfather of John Jacob Astor. He was a dramatic actor who gave a touch of class to the genre. He was in Buffalo Bill in Rome in 49, so he goes way back. Hallelujah for Django in 66. The Ugly Ones in 66. Beyond the Law, 67. A Minute to Pray, A Second to Die, 67. A Long Ride from Hell, 68. Two Pistols and a Coward, 68. Boot Hill in 69. Forgotten Pistolero in 69. In the Name of the Father, 69. The Unholy Four in 69. Then he went to Trinity Is Still My Name in 71. Vengeance Trail, 71. Man of the East, 72. They Call Him Veritas in 72. Those Dirty Dogs in 73. California in 77. And the last film Western he was in was A Man Called Blade in 77, or Manaya.
Yeah, he kind of looks like the guy who does spit. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
But an older version.
The guy that spits is Lorenzo Robledo.
Oh, we're gonna go do him,
He's
I guess,
not on our
another
list.
time, Tom. Yeah,
Yes. Uh-huh.
when we get down to his name. Okay, so great actor. You're right, one of the older ones. So, but let's see, when did he pass, Tom? In 93, not bad. Okay. Anyway, so once again, you are watching the Once Upon a Time in Spaghetti Westerns podcast with the great Tom Betts. I'm Jay Jennings, poster collector, film collector, statuary collector, and just an all-around great guy. Right, Tom?
That's right. That's great.
So let's move on, Tom. I was looking at some of these coming up. I don't know if I can do them all myself, but depending on that, let's see if I'm set up for. Let's see who's next on. Oh, it's Federico Boydo Tom.
Oh, one of the greats.
So I'm gonna kind of a younger looking guy in the Peter Lee Lawrence kind of
hippie
category.
looking, long hair,
Right.
snarly.
So let me set his picture up here as we discuss his.
Rick Boyd.
Yeah, Rick Boyd is basically it, but we call him Federico Boydo Tom, and holy CRAP. Yeah, about halfway through. I don't know if I pass out or not. A lot of stuff. Rick Boyd, Rich Boyd, Reich Boyd. Anyway, he's born in Piedmont, Italy in 38. Passed away in 2014 in Rome. Author, writer, poet, stuntman, film and TV actor. He was awarded the La Patarina d'Oro. Perpetual snarly villain. Tom capsized him.
Yep.
Or captioned.
Always
So
played like a wise ass.
Right. Oh, he did. Like, yeah, what are you doing here? You're not wanted here. Sis doesn't want to see you again. He started off Lost Treasure, The Aztecs, 64. And then Gerardo, 66. Hallelujah for Django, 66. Bang Bang Kid, 67. Oh, man. I hate those things. And who we got? Django Kills Softly, 67. Jamongo, 67. He's in Face to Face. Kind of looks like Kiefer Sutherland of his
yeah, there you go.
His time, Tom.
Certainly
Well,
looks,
I mean,
yep.
yeah, it's there. Payment in Blood, 67. Run, Man, Run, 67. The Ruthless Force, 67. Ace High, 68. And the worst title ever for a spaghetti western film, and for a roof, A Sky Full of Stars.
Yeah, played the main villain in that one.
68, he did. I Want Him Dead. So he actually did a little bit more than just, hold the gun.
Mm-hmm.
He was actually just had a lot of lines in these films. Once Upon a Time in the West, he's the guy at the way station. Is it even worth mentioning if he's in archive footage, Tom?
No.
Sartana the Gravedigger. Remember, he's Billy Cochran, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Adios Sabata, 70. Chapaco's Gold, 70. He's basically in every spaghetti western film of the early 70s. Django Defies Sartana, 70. Fistful of Lead, 70. Have a Nice Funeral, My Friend, 70. Roy Colton Winchester Jack, 70. At least they got to work for Fulci and some... all these great directors they got to work for. So you had Blazing Guns in 71. Oh, here, this is one of his sinister looks, Tom.
Yep.
And Blazing Guns, 71. Bullets for a Stranger, 71. Drummer of Vengeance, 71. I have all these on film, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I watch them with popcorn and a beer. The wife is sleeping. It's 2 a.m. And then I get ready for the show. Then I get the stills ready at 3 a.m., Tom. Then I stay up watching the late news. And then next thing you know, it's 12 o'clock, time to do the show. Okay. I left off at Guns for $1, 71. His name was King, 71. His name was Pot, but they call him Algebra Math, 71. Holy Water Joe, 71. Joe Dakota, 71. Return of Sabata, 71. The reason Tom and I have decided to read them off like this, because then when you hear the title, in your brain you'll flash the character he played. So this is like no show offers this, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
You see the guy in front of you, you hear the name, and it flashes what they look like. That's the purpose we serve. It's virtual spaghetti westerns, Tom. Yeah.
Yep, or you go back and look for him.
Jesse and Lester, two brothers in a town called Anaheim. 72. Anything for a Friend, 72. They call him Veritas, but I call him Chris Casey, 72. Where the Bullets Fly, 72. Another, this is the second worst title. This is right after, Tom. This title is worse than, and for A Sky Full of Stars, I asked for some cereal. Another Try, eh, Providence? God, I hate that title. Anyway, it's an okay film, but the title sucks. Hallelujah to Vera Cruz, Shanghai Joe, Return of Shanghai Joe, and of course, Tom, your favorite spaghetti western, After Metallo, Apache Woman.
He's got a big part in that, too.
Whew, that took almost every ounce of energy that I had, Tom.
You need another bowl of cereal, Jay?
I'm having my Frankenberry. I Frankenberry, Count Chocula, and Boo Berry as a kid, Tom. So next, coming up, we got for Ferdinando Poggi, Tom, or Poggi. Which one is it?
Yep. I call him Poggi, but who knows? Probably Poggi.
I always go with the hard G's.
Yeah, me too.
Just for the heck of it. Oh, you know what? You're right. I don't. I'm a liar because William Berger.
Yeah.
But I prefer Burger because I heard it was Burger, Tom.
Burger.
Yeah. This guy, in a way, sometimes looks like Mark Damon. You could say he looks like. Well, you'll see what I mean in a second. But let's hear about him, Tom.
He also acted under Eric Fisher, Ferd Poger, Ned Poger, Fernando Poggi. Nando Poggi was basically what I remember him.
Wait a minute, Tom. Tom, let me interrupt you.
Yep.
The reason why I thought he looked like Mark Damon as Johnny Yuma is because the photo was Mark Damon as Johnny Yuma.
Yeah, he was in Johnny Yuma. Yeah, I played Sugar.
So, sorry about that, folks. Here's Fernando Poggi, Tom.
Yep. Sort of nondescript, but you say, well, I've seen that guy, but I mean, I've seen a lot of guys that look like that. But that's him. He was in Sign of Zorro, 63, Massacre at the Grand Canyon, 63, Minnesota Clay, 64, A Fistful of Songs, 66, Five Giants from Texas, 66, Johnny Yuma, 66, played Sugar, Ringo and His Golden Pistol, 66. He was also the fencing master in that movie, played Paco Perez. Beyond the Law, 67, $10,000 for a Massacre in 67. Ace High, he did stunts. Beyond the Law in 68. Gatling Gun in 68, played Bill Hutton and also did stunts. The Longest Hunt in 68. Amen in 69. Your Jinxed Friend, You've Met Sacramento in 70. Drummer of Vengeance in 71. And 71 was his last Western, Holy Water Joe. That's more what I think of him as, a blonde-haired. Yeah. That's from Johnny Yuma.
Yeah, that was the Johnny Yuma shot. So
Yep.
that's why when I said that came out of my lips, I was like, he looks like he looks like Mark Damon.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tom, so let's move on the list. Sorry, I have a lifesaver because I'm getting the throat reading off all these names. Anyway, I guess it's my turn for Fernando Sanchez, and sometimes he adds Polak. Yeah.
Pollock, yeah.
I just call him Fernando Sanchez, Tom. That's what he's known in most of these films. If you don't... Tom's face. Anyway, Tom, and then after that, you've got a doozy yourself, which will take about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But anyway, so I'll do Fernando Sanchez and Pollock.
Yeah. All his names are just various spellings of that, so you don't have to go through them all.
He's won it right. If you read his bio, oh my freaking... This guy has more AKAs. No, Tom, that reminds me, Fernando Sanchez has more AKAs than probably any actor who ever lived.
Yeah, they're just different spellings.
That's the $1 million question, and if anybody says somebody else, they don't know what they're talking about. Just real quick, this is worth discussing, Tom. When you were putting together the list, and I had it from an original source, I thought I saw 2 or 3 names. Pollack, no Pollack, whatever. And then Tom comes back with 20 names. So wait, let me show who we're talking about. The one and only Fernando Sanchez. Not to be confused with you-know-who. This is the guy's character look. He's a mousy little guy.
Yeah, I remember him, Jay, like I put on the list. He's best remembered as the sheriff of Willow Creek. In the big gun down. He's the guy that goes out and identifies the body that Lee brings in. He says, well, that's not Cuchillo. That's so-and-so, but he's wanted also.
You're right. That's what he is known. But I know him as this mousy little henchman.
Yep.
And
he's got many looks.
I will say in spaghetti western lore, Fernando Sanchez Pollock, a.k.a. Luis Sanchez Pollock, Fernando S. Pollock, Fido Sanchez Pollock, F. Sanchez Pollock, F. Sanchez Pollock, F. Sanchez F.S. Pollock, Fernando S. Pollock, Sanchez Pollock. Oh my God.
And they're spelled differently. That's why when you say...
The only thing off, tell them the only thing different is
when you hear Jay say Pollock, they're spelled P-O-L-A-K, P-O-L-A-C.
Sanchez is with an S, a Z, a C-H. Oh, man. Yep. I'm going to have a heart attack. That's so funny. Fernando Pollock, he's also Pollock, another Pollock. This is a Pollock. But what you don't know is all these are spelled differently, Tom.
As long as the check is spelled right, that's all he cared about.
Ooh, that was funny stuff. Okay, Tom, one more before we get to the sheriff.
That's more
Once again, the mousy character.
Bartenders.
Right. And anyway, he was born in 26, Tom, and then died in 99.
He was born in 20.
Oh, in 20. 20. You're right, Tom.
That's his brother, was born in 26.
Oh, that is sad, yeah. But he died of cardiac arrest, won't we all? Anyway, so rundown of his films, and then I think I'm going to go out and take a walk. Is the Savage Gun, 61. Torrejon City, 62. He's the Undertaker. Fistful of Dollars. He's Rojo's henchman, of course. Minnesota Clay. He's one of the Fox's henchmen. Son of Yessie Yames, 64, Two Violent Men. And he's also in The Big Gun Down, which Tom talks about. He's the sheriff of Willow Creek. Django Does Not Forgive, of course. He's in this novella that I shouldn't even mention. Yeah. The Ugly Ones. He's in a documentary on The Ugly Ones, Tom. Oh, no, he plays Doc. I thought you meant documentary. Yeah. Anyway, The Ballad of a Gunman, Tierra Brava, 68. Bullet for Sandoval, 69. Rebels of Arizona, 69. $20,000 for Every Corpse Not Named Tom Betts. Great title, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Apache, 70. Who does he play in that one, Tom?
Blind guitarist.
Then we have Pancho Villa. Of course, he's Manuel. And Yankee Dudler, probably the third worst title of all time. He plays an
Yeah.
Indian. And last but not least, he's in The Black Wolf. But I'm going to show the picture of the sheriff that Tom's referring to, of Widow Creek.
There he is.
So, great actor, just like the rest of them on this list. The great Fernando Sanchez Pollock. And now we're going to talk to you about another great person who's requested many a time. Right, Tom?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Frank Gula. When are you going to do Frank?
Gula. Yep. When they wanted an old man with white hair, they asked for two actors, Franco Gula and Franco Pesci. Those are the two. Played Dusty in all the Sartana movies was Pesci. Gula plays the old man in all the other Italian ones.
What's the old man? The old man from what is it? The Fistful? Am I mistake? Three Coffins.
Oh yeah, but he died like at 66, so he was only in a couple.
Right, but he still did a
Papiro,
lot,
yeah.
didn't he? Yeah, I always confuse all these
Joseph
old-timers.
Edger, yeah.
Okay, so go ahead, Tom.
Franco Gula, also known as Frank Gula, Frank Goulard, Franco Gula, Frank Gulas, Franco Gula with two L's, and Jean Mean was born Francesco Gula. I have no date of when he was born, when he died. I would say he was born around 1900 because he's always looked old. He started in 65 in the Spaghettis. He was in Blood for a Silver Dollar in 65, Gold Train 65, Killed Johnny Ringo 65, Stranger in Sacramento 65, The Brute and the Beast 66, Dynamite Joe 66, El Rojo 66, God Forgives I Don't in 66 plays Grandpa, The Man from Nowhere 66, My Name is Paco 66, Ramon the Mexican 66, $7 to Kill 66, Who Killed Johnny Ringo 66. Now remember, he's only in most of these movies as in small roles where he just rides into town or you see him in a bar. That's why he can be in so many movies in 1 year. He was in Born to Kill in 67, Colt in the Hand of the Devil 67, Little Rita of the West plays a lawyer, A Minute to Pray, A Second to Die plays an old outlaw, This Man Can't Die to 67, Today We Kill, Tomorrow We Die 67. That's the one where he's in the saloon when they have the shootout, and the sheriff asked him, he says, I'm so glad I lived to be this age to see that shootout. If You Want to Live, Shoot, 68, plays Grandpa McGowan. Rick and John, Conquerors of the West, 67. Son of Django, 67. Viva Django, 67. Wanted Johnny Texas in 67. Ace High, 68. Boot Hill, 68. Dead for a Dollar, 68. Go for Broke, 68. Hate Thy Neighbor, 68. Little Rita in the West, again, plays a lawyer. No Graves on Boot Hill, 68. $20,000 for Seven, 68. Wrath of God, 68. And God Said to Cain, 69. Forgotten Pistolero, 69. Gunman Called Dakota in 71. And Judge Roy Bean, 71. And his last film that I have is 72. He played in They Call Me Amen. So possibly he passed away not too long after that. Okay,
Yeah.
Jay, back from your walk?
Back from my walk. Oh, yeah, it was a nice a walk, a smoke, a drink. You know, because I live right next to a bar. Okay, can you hear me okay, Tom?
Yeah, I hear you. You get to do the next one. Good thing you went for a walk.
Why, did you call to me at some point?
No, this one, the next one you got is like 3 pages long. There
Oh,
he is.
right. Well, I forgot to show this one. Which one is this from, Tom?
I don't know. Looks like he plays a priest in there.
Okay. I just thought I'd throw that in because I had it. Why waste a good photo of
Sure.
Franco Gula? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so What is mine like double yours?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll be seeing.
You
I'll
thought
be
you were
seeing
going to
all of
stick
you in
me,
a
didn't you?
minute.
Yeah, I got you.
It's a close up of Tom's mug for the next 5 minutes, basically, folks. Anyway, out of all the great character actors, pardon me, of all the great character actors and stuntmen and people who are known in the industry, I think Frank Brana, right, Tom? Frank Blank, Frankie Bradford, Francisco Brama, Paco Brana, Frank Brania, Paco Brania. Just add an anya to every other name, and he almost can compete with the other guy we had.
Yep,
The Spanish Benito Stefanelli, Tom.
that's right.
So, what we can do this in parts, take turns and
You
stuff.
can do
But
the first page. I'll do the second page. How's that?
page, how about I'll do the first five? I'll do the first five. Anyway, great face. Uh, he's very recognizable. Let me just pull him up on the old macaroni.
Usually had gray hair and dark brown eyebrows.
Well, here's the look. Here's
There he is.
excuse me.
Yep.
Here's the look that he's known for,
Yep.
and this is
Played
taken
both,
when he, yeah,
played both sides of the law. Good, bad, good guy, bad guy.
and he made a lot of films. So we're gonna go through them, Tom and I. That well known. That's right. We're gonna Ride and Kill. He was the driver in '63. Hold on a minute. And Murrieta in '64. He played a rapist, Tom.
Yep.
Fury of the Apaches. Doom Ford, '64, Fistful of Dollars, of course. He's one of Baxter's henchmen. Plays that corporal in Last Tomahawk, Massacre at Fort Grand. I mean, he's basically in everything you can mention. Could be one of the guys who could probably be said he's done the most.
Yeah, he's up there.
In the most. Whether it's stunt work, stunt coordinate, featured role.
Yeah.
He's basically, yes, this guy, someone should write a book about Frank Brania. No two ways about it. Okay. Tomb of the Pistolero. Who do you think played the Black Rider, Tom?
That's him.
Yeah. Two
As
Violent
Frank
Men. Yeah. Adios Gringo. A Coffin for the Sheriff for a few dollars more. These are all mid early 60s. Last Tomahawk, of course, I mentioned. Oh, Sun Scorched, which I called something else. I forgot. The Big Gun Down. Django Does Not Forgive, Django Kill, The Texican, Ugly Ones, those are all 66. God Forgives, I Don't. And Tom, you'll have to take over after The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay. Then he did Savage Gringo, 66, Sugar Cult, 66, Taste for Killing, 66, The Texican, 66. He's in the very beginning. He plays U.S. Marshal Vic. The Ugly One, 66, Face to Face, 67. For a Few Bullets More, 67. Rattler Kid, 67. Ace High, 68. 15 Scaffolds for a Killer, 68. Go for Broke, 68. I Want Him Dead, 68. Once Upon a Time in the West, 68. He's also in the auction scene. You'll see him there smoking a pipe. A Pistol for 100 Coffins, 68. Ringo the Lone Rider, 68. Secret of Captain O'Hara, 68. Taste of Vengeance, 68. Gringo, 69. Death on High Mountain, 69. Price of Power, 69. Plays Mortimer. Taste of Vengeance, 69. When Satan Grips the Cult, 69. As Frank Braz. Zorro the Lawman, 69. With Fabio Testi. Awkward Hands, 70. Gunman in Town, 1970. Plays One Eye. Or Sam Putnam. Light the Fuse, Santana is Coming. Santana Kills Them All as Brian Lester. The Buzzards and Crows Will Dig Your Grave as Glenn Kovacs.
One of my
Oldest
favorite
Job in the
titles.
West, 71. Bullet for a Stranger, 71. Name of the Father, the Son of the Cult. Plays Judge Finley. Let's Go and Kill Sartana. These Damn Pounds of Gold. God in Heaven, Arizona on Earth as Austin Stiles. Kill the Poker Player. 72, Prey of Vultures, 72, Desmadios Muertas, Paratech, 73, the sheriff. Fast Hand to Steal My Name, 73, as Quincy. Three Supermen of the West, Brad. He was one of the stars of the three Supermen. He was one of the Supermen. Yankee Dudler, 73, plays a bank guard with Dan Van Husen. Dallas, 74, If You Shoot, You Live, Marco. The Black Wolf, 81, Revenge of the Black Wolf, 81. Yellow Hair in a Fortress of Gold in 84, and Texan Lord of the Deep in 1985 is Jim Bedford. And that wraps up his short career.
That awfully short career, Tom. Anyway.
He worked in the mines when he was young, and that's where he developed a lung disease which killed him. But yeah, he was around for a long time.
Well, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, folks, that wraps up part one of our A to Z of the known and the unknown character actors of the spaghetti western genre. That's right, Tom and I, we've decided enough of this easy stuff like Mario Brega's 3-hour show or Fernando Sancho's 4-hour marathon or our Peter Lee Lawrence special or none of that other stuff that takes mounds and mounds and hours of preparation and research. Let's do a 4-part series on the genre about the known and the unknown character actors.
Some of these guys we can't do a whole show on. They weren't in that many. They weren't stars, but everybody knows their faces or recognizes the names. So we thought we would at least give them an honor and show them this way.
So on the next show, right, exactly. So on the next show, part 2 of the known and the unknown character actors of spaghetti westerns, we'll be doing such people as trying to give them a taste for next week.
The next one on the list is
George
Furio
Regaud,
Menacani, known as Men Fury. That's the best one. The best name of all time, Men Fury.
Okay, Tom. Giacomo Rossi Stewart.
Yep.
Gaspar Gonzalez.
Roberto
These are just
Del
a few of the names we'll be doing next time.
Yep.
That are really cool, unknown and known of the spaghetti western genre. But that was part 1. We'll probably have 2 more parts.
We can do a whole show on the Del Acqua brothers and the Ukmar brothers.
Right.
There's like 4 of each. Be a 3-hour show.
Why not? But anyway, Tom, you know, Gertrude has to get paid overtime, and I don't like to pay her. What was that? No, Gertrude, a little bit more. Gertrude is my...
I'm supposed to remind you, you had a surprise for us. At the end of the show, you said, remind you.
Remind you of a surprise. So I did tell you that. I don't know if I'll even remember it. I do remember it. Okay. Gertrude is my 96-year-old. Is it 96 or 86, Tom? Grandmother.
She looks 96, but she's only 86.
Right. She does the lighting and books all the guests. She booked you, Tom.
That's right.
Anyway, so levity aside, we want to thank you all for joining us for our 33rd episode titled Spaghetti Westerns, the Known and the Unknown Character Actors. This is a 4-part series. We're going to do about 3 other shows dedicated to these great, unknown, unheralded stunt performers, choreographers, actors. Said some things, had a few lines in some films, didn't say things in others, just played a henchman or a snarly bartender, but they're memorable.
Yep. Saloon
Tom,
patron.
33 episodes. Look them all up, folks. 33 different topics, from Django to Sartana, from 9 Sergios to my poster collection.
From Adios Gringo to we can't go to Zorro, so we have to stop at Zango or something.
Right. Anyway.
Yankee Dudler.
Excuse me, folks. Doing all these names leaves me a little hoarse. But anyway, or am I a horse? Of course. So let's move on, Tom. I think we'll let you do something special. Should we go to the vault?
You want to go to the vault? Okay.
Yeah. Dun, da, da, da. It's time to revisit Tom's Westerns All Italiana vault from an issue between 83 and 99.
Something like that. Well,
And what do we got this week, Tom?
This week I pulled out the folder on the Ballad of Ben and Charlie.
Hold that up. Go
German
ahead.
poster. Bunch of ad mats. I'll show you when we get through there. And just pages that we've cut out of magazines or whatever someone would send us, write-ups on it that we would do for the zine. Let me skip all that. Get back to the good stuff. Every once in a while, someone would send us something in the mail. Unitalia page, which I've showed you the books right up in there. But every once in a while, someone would send us something that they found in a magazine or whatever. And here's a 2-page layout on Ben and Charlie.
Yeah, there they are.
Nice shot of Juliana Gemma kicking George Eastman in the nuts.
Right.
And someone would send us an Italian poster or a copy of it. Here's another little handout from the movie. There's the Belgian poster. And then, of course, the coup de grace. I've got a copy. You don't have one of these. There's the big poster of
Wow.
Ben and Charlie. This is American. Brawling, blasting, boozing. That's our kind of film. But that's the file from the vault this week. Ben and Charlie. I gotta fold this thing back up.
The rest of the show is just you folding it up, Tom.
Yeah, just folding it up.
I'm not saying a word.
Okay. Oh crap! I'll do it later.
Tom, that is the worst possible.
Sorry, buddy.
Listen to me, Tom. As a poster collector, unless that's one you really don't give two craps about,
I really don't.
just tossing it over your shoulder was hilarious.
It's right there.
It's right up there with I did that to my Dirty Rita. Dirty Rita. Get it? Dirty Rita? Little Rita, Dirty West. Where's my mind, Tom? Yeah. Okay, so that's it from the vault, everybody. I guess we can do autograph of the week. See, do I still have mine? Okay. It's autograph of the week, folks, and I'll do mine. I want to thank everybody watching from Timbuktu to Kalamazoo, from Cairo to Beverly Hills. You're watching the Once Upon a Time in Spaghetti Westerns podcast. It's time for our autograph of the week, and I will now share mine. Hopefully, Tom said he's not going to show his from the old actor's home.
Nope.
Anymore. He's got real ones that he got. Okay. Let's see. Who am I showing? Oh, man. Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot to open this. All right, folks, here's another one. Not only do I collect rare spaghetti western stars, I collect spaghetti western directors. And here's Gianfranco Baldinello. Blackjack, Jack. So this was during some correspondence in 2002. Through a Spanish, Italian, it took a couple friends of mine to put this together.
Sure, it's great.
So, yes, we all know what Jay's looking for. But anyway, that's today's autograph, Tom, an Italian director. I have also Dario Argento, but he didn't really direct a spaghetti western. I know he wrote, Once Upon a Time or something, or parts of it.
Part of that one, yep.
And some others. But I just thought I would share a rare director. I know Robert would appreciate that one.
Yep.
All righty, Tom. What's your autograph of the week?
All right.
Hold on. There we go. Tom.
Mine. It says, can you read it?
Tom, me and the big man himself, Neil
Neil Summers.
Sedaka. Neil Sedaka.
Neil Summers. This is from Troublemakers, signed in 2017. Neil was in almost all of the Terrence Hill, Bud Spencer movies. He was in My Name Is Nobody. He was Virgil, the deputy on the TV Lucky Luke series. So they would come over here and film. So he was always called to be in Doc West and Triggerman from 2008, which was the last Western that Terrence did.
All right, Tom. Oh, now they have a tree cruncher. They're chopping down trees. So check this out, folks. I don't think that's funny. They're chopping down trees, doing roof job, and then mulching the trees in a mulching truck right outside where I live.
Or the shredders from Fargo.
Like so loud, yeah. So anyway, let's get to album of the week. Tom usually supplies us with that. What do we have, Tom?
I've got Land Raiders this week.
Oh.
Bruno Nicolai, 1970. The film was directed by
show it again, Tom.
Nathan Duran, starred Telly Savalas.
That is pretty
George
cool.
Harris, Arlene Dahl. It's on the Beverly Hills label, number BHS 21. It's in stereo. It's got 12 tracks, and it's worth about $30. This is one of those, Jay, where I bought it down in Hollywood at Aaron's Record Store on Melrose, and we had a record mart in Costa Mesa, and I went there a couple of weeks later, and they had four copies for $5 a piece. And for like an idiot, I didn't buy them. I should have bought them.
Oh, Tom, why didn't you?
I don't know. Well, I got this.
That's all right. No worries. Thank you very much, Tom. And that is album of the week. And I don't think that's funny, you moving me around. So anyway, what else? I know what else, Tom. It's time for Book of the Week. Let's give it its proper opening.
Intro. Let's see if we can do the intro. All right. Now, I mentioned this last week, but I didn't show it. This is one I got for Christmas called Rock and Roll Radical.
Right.
It's a biography on our buddy Dean Reed. And it's got, like I said, I haven't even read the thing yet. It's got like 300 and some, 258 pages. It's by, if you can pronounce his name, Chuck Lazuski. So that's all I can tell you about it. I have not read
Dean Reed we love Dean Reed.
So I hope it gets into some of his films and not just his political views.
20 Paces to Death.
We'll see. Yep.
You've seen the autograph, right, Tom?
Audio Sabata.
I met him.
Sing Cowboy
briefly.
Sing, my favorite.
Before he went into hiding, I met him.
Oh yeah, you did.
At like this gathering of fans for a screening. I didn't even know who it was until someone pointed it out to me. I was like, "Holy shit!" And who knew he'd be such a cult figure 30, 40 years later?
Did he have the hair then? Do you remember?
He looked like Davy Jones of the Monkees.
Gotcha.
My book of the week is a classic, Tom, and we've had him on as a guest.
Yep. Howard Hughes, Once Upon a Time,
The Italian West. It is
book.
A great reference book.
Great book.
I mean, you can say that about so many books. This, to me, I was going to tell you this was the book I was talking to you about. Easy to read, not being lectured to, which I don't mind being lectured to. But I'm an encyclopedia guy. I want information fast and quick without being lectured to. So, Once Upon a Time in the Italian West, with Any Gun Can Play. And you really don't need any other book. I hate to say that, I really do.
It's
and
true.
God help me. Or if Ulrich Bruckner, God love him, ever puts his book into English, that will overtake both of them.
Yeah.
And be number one.
I was going to clarify it by saying in English. Yes, you're right.
In English. I'm not putting down any other writers. I'm just saying I love those two books. That's why they're torn to pieces, and I have PDF versions because my two hardcovers, destroyed over the years. Anyway, thank you very much for Book of the Week. I'm not promoting or producing anybody else's stuff. It's just my opinion for a second. Let me give you a quick example. I grew up in LA. I have 10 favorite delis that serve corned beef. So I took a poll of what are your favorite 10 delis? One of my favorite closed down. That's what inspired me to do it. I never do polls. So I listed my 6 or 7 favorite from a corned beef standpoint. I forgot one place I grew up eating where a high school friend ends up owning the place, and I forgot to mention his place. So he writes me, "What am I, chopped liver?" You know. And so not only did I take down the freaking poll, but I feel bad.
Yeah.
That you're right. I did forget you. Much apologies, but honestly, if your corned beef was that good, it would have made my freaking list. Right, Tom?
That's right.
It's a great place to hang. My parents love his place, and I'd put him 7th or 8th, and I love the guy personally. But the corned beef's a little dry. I didn't want to tell him. Off the topic of delis, should we do your thing and then I'll give the special news at the end?
Sure.
Let's go for Tom. Oh, here we go, Tom, once again.
Okay, we're back to the weekly news, and it's more like a normal weekly news briefing this week. There's a new Blu-ray release that came out today called Die Halle von Manitoba. We know it as a place called Glory, from 1965, directed by Sheldon Reynolds and starring Lex Barker and Pierre Brice and Mariana Koch, Hans Nielsen, Wolfgang Luxke. It was released by PDAX Film in Germany. It's a Region B in Dolby Digital 2.0. Unfortunately, it's only in German with no subtitles, running time of 93 minutes. Extras include a booklet. And like I said, it was released today, so you can go to my blog, or you can check the WAI Facebook page tomorrow for more info. Also, another book was released called G.L. Benelli, Tec Sono Io, edited by Gianni Bono. It's out of Italy. Publisher is Sergio Benelli, and it's in Italian. It's got 368 pages. And it's on Gianluigi Benelli and the creation of Tex Willer. That's where Tex and the Lord of the Deep came from. So if you're interested in Tex Willer, there's a new book out about his creator. Unfortunately, we've got a couple of passings, and this one happened right after we got off the air last week. We talked about Robert Hossein, but right after he passed away, Antonio Sabato Jr. or Sr. passed away. This was another one of those Tanya Roberts screw-ups where Antonio Sabato Jr. wrote on Twitter that his father had passed away on January 6th of COVID. Well, a couple of days later, both his wife and his daughter came on saying, no, he had not died. He was still alive. Well, he passed away on January 10th. Senior was 77. And he was in a number of spaghetti westerns as a lead actor. He was in Beyond the Law as Ben Novak with Lee Van Cleef.
Tom, he's in one of my favorites, Twice a Judas.
Yep. Hate for Hate as Manuel with John Ireland. Both are 67. I Came, I Saw, I Shot as Moses Lang. Twice a Judas as Luke Barrett, as you mentioned, with Klaus Kinski. Both are 68. Thunder Over El Paso as Roy, and El Santo is Mac Fellow in 1971. He's in Where the Bullets Fly as Jonathan Edgar in 72, and Thunder Warrior as Thomas in 1983. The next passing is small, but
Tom, what film is this from?
Oh, that is that. I think that's I Came, I Saw, I Shot.
Look at that gun. I actually own those two, Tom. They're here in my museum. How cool would that be?
Yeah, really, really. Except when you're out of bullets, you got a lot of reloading to do before you can shoot again. So.
That, and I have Banjo's banjo rifle.
Banjo?
They're both here, Tom.
There you go. How about Django's machine gun?
That's here too.
Is that there? You got it all. Got it all. Today I learned that Canadian actor Adrian Dorval died. If you saw his picture, you'd know who he was. He died in Vancouver on January 5th from esophageal cancer. He was 57. He was born Patrick Adrian Dorval in Fort St. John, British Columbia, and was a film and TV character actor. He appeared as Timberline in the 1973 Euro Western TV movie Johnson County War, starring Tom Berenger and Burt Reynolds. Although not a spaghetti Western participant, I have to mention the passing of director-photographer Steve Carver, who died from COVID-19 on January 8th. Steve directed such films as Arena, Big Bad Mama, Capone, and my favorite, Lone Wolf McQuade. Along with our past guest, Courtney Joyner, he released the book Western Portraits, The Unsung Heroes and Villains of the Silver Screen. Steve was 75. That was a shocker. As far as birthdays go ahead.
I was going to say it certainly was a shocker.
Yep.
I don't think he was.
When I got up, I think it was Sunday morning. It was on my Facebook page, and I thought it was an advertisement for his book. And Rob Word had put it up there, and Courtney had called him the night before, and a policeman answered the phone saying he had passed away. So what was the shock for Courtney? Then we found out he didn't die of a heart attack. He actually had COVID-19, and that brought on the heart attack. There he is. Birthdays this week include Fernando Lamas, who would have been 105 on the 9th. Lee Van Cleef would have been 95 on the 9th. Our friend Lionel Stander would have been 112 on the 11th. The great composer Francesco De Masi would have been 90 on the 11th. The most irritating child actor of all time, Renato Chesti, turned 58 on the 11th. Past episode, not want to say guest, but what do you want to call these people that we talk about? Star Robert Hundar would have been 86 on the 12th.
Oh, yeah.
Faye Dunaway turned 80 on the 14th.
That's amazing.
And Vanetta McGee would have been 76 on the 14th. So those are
Faye Dunaway and Raquel Welch are both 80 years old, and they're still looking hot.
Looking good. Here's a picture of the DVD place called Glory. It's basically like these two guys are hired to do an annual shootout in the town, and when they finally meet, they discover that they know each other. So they decide to trick the townsmen and turn the tables on them.
Well, they look like a clean.
It's not a Winnetou movie, even though the stars were both in Winnetou.
Right. Anyway, we're just paying respect to Steve on this show. Great writer, gone too soon. So anyway, now let's thank all the people who frequent all the different pubs, clubs, and cafes on Facebook.
And delis.
It's like a coffee house, yeah, or brothels, whatever. I don't know what you want to call them, Tom, or saloons or hotels. But the people who frequent these places that write about spaghetti westerns, I always like to give a shout out. So let's see if I could find where they are. Here they are. Of course, Tom's Westerns all'Italiana, and the 800 Spaghetti Westerns in Spain, Once Upon a Time in Italy, Spaghetti Westerns with John Delaney, Spaghetti Westerns movie posters with Nicole Kidman, Il Meglio del Western all'Italiano, that's Terrence. Of course, the Blu-ray collectors, Spaghetti Westerns Unchained, Fanatiques de Western Spaghetti, Opera o Violencia, and our two friends, Hulk Janoon and Hideko Uno, who've been on vacation, haven't really needed them. But let's not forget the one and only. He is the guardian of all things Spaghetti Western, the Spaghetti Western database. All your needs, latest editions, new on home video, new reviews, top 20 lists, films, books. It's your one-stop shop for all things Spaghetti Western, the Spaghetti Western database. Oh, now the buzz cutters are out too, Tom. Chopping down, just sound just like that, Texas chainsaw outside my room. But anyway, the big surprise, it's not really a big surprise, but
now you let us down?
Yeah, sorry, there is no big surprise. End of show. Uh, is that some of you know or don't know, I'm also a filmmaker, so I've decided to be working on a project that involves the spaghetti western genre. Not a film, but something that might involve either some animation or something of a short subject matter that involves these characters in, kind of a parody or an homage to spaghetti westerns. So look for that soon down the road. I might have that there weekly, like a little film, like Saturday Night Live used to show a digital short in the early days in the mid 70s.
Yep.
The show they'd show like a short film that was great. So I'm hoping that will be that, these little 2-minute little vignettes of spaghetti western genre stuff. But anyway, big surprise or big deal, Tom. Who cares? So, Tom, next week, part two of the known and the unknown.
Sounds good. You're gonna start off with Men Fury, so
Right, that'll be 2 pages. Tom will grab a smoke, a beer, have a beer,
yeah, I'll
and
show
he'll
up
go
late for
down
that.
the local 7-Eleven while I do the intro of the show. But I want to thank you all who are joining us high noon every Friday, West Coast, 3 p.m. East Coast, 9 p.m. European time, and of course 8 o'clock in the UK. And Japan, I think it's 3 a.m. or 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
So domo arigato. And Tom, what do you always say to everybody?
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos. And instead of me saying adios, caballeros, I'll say, my mistake. 5 coffees.